over and over and over again. So yes, our First Lady, I loved it when she said, when they go low, we go high. That is the perfect reaction, but I'm going to take it a step further. Now, if you're low vibrations, instead of snapping out at someone with it, oftentimes people are white knuckling. Oh my God, I just want to reach across the table and put my hands around your throat and I want to throttle you, but I'm not going to because that would not be nice. It's very, very toxic. And it is. It's 100% correct. But it's a lot easier to just neutralize it.
Yes.
And that's what my work is about.
Yes. The stories that people have that have them in this depression and this lower state, and they carry that heaviness in them.
Yes.
And the pain of it, if they're in pain, what do they have to offer?
Yes.
So you break through that.
I break through that.
Clear that.
Yes, that's what my work is about. Clearing out those lower vibrations, those lower pains, that negativity, that unhappiness. All of that does not have to be there any longer.
So one of the key words that just came to me is to help people forgive.
Yes.
Of themselves or the others, the accused, what have you.
Yes.
But forgiveness
Yes.
is a big barrier, a big block, isn't it?
So let me explain how I view forgiveness. Once you get rid of the hatred, the anger, the jealousies, the anxieties, all these lower vibrating emotions, and someone has done something to you. Now, there are people that are victimized. We know this. But you do not have to be a victim. That's where suffering comes in. It's not necessary. So if you've had someone do something to you that caused pain, sure, you can live with it, or you can bury it, or you can push it aside for a while. But I say, let's just get rid of it. Because what's left then is you're able, if you don't have all of this stirred up, and you can look at that memory of what they've done to you, and you feel nothing. Then you look at it and go, oh my goodness, I can forgive them. Because it's like now suddenly there's nothing to forgive because I don't have an emotional response to all of what you've done to me.
So the story changes at the
Yes.
interpretation once the toxic is released.
Absolutely. The interpretation is always what causes us suffering.
There you go.
So when your interpretation or your perspective of it shifts, then suddenly you see it through different eyes.
Yes.
You see it through the eyes of who you really are, your real, authentic, genuine self, or as Eckhart Tolle calls it, you're in your consciousness. When you're there, you are kind, you are compassionate, you are tolerant. You're not going to call someone names and label them and tell them how bad they are. You're just not going to do that because when you're conscious, when you're in your real self, you don't even want to do it.
No, you want to be a gift to others, actually.
Yes.
Come on, lighten up. Let's laugh about something. Let's enjoy
Exactly.
a moment.
You feel better.
Yes,
You feel better.
that too.
Now, I always look at what kind of person do I want to be? And I view that by the person that I want to be around. Do I want to be around someone who's negative and grumpy and snapping and dumping on me and blaming and shaming or trying to? I don't want to hang out in that kind of energy, and I don't want to hang out with that kind of person. I want to be around somebody who is positive and energetic and passionate and want to make the world a better place and doing their part to make the world a better place. And I can forgive you. And, oh, you cut me off in traffic, no problem. Oh, I see you've only got a few items in the grocery store and I've got a whole cart. Please go in front of me. We love being around people like that.
Yes.
I don't know,
right.
at least I do, Gigi. I don't know about you.
Absolutely. Well, I know that you also talk about how you openly meet people where they are at, and you're
Yes.
very accepting of that.
What I want people to understand, Gigi, is there's no judgment. If you're angry, it's just what it is. If you're hating your father, I'm not judging your father, and I'm certainly not judging you for hating your father. I've been there. I don't judge anyone with any emotions that they have. They're just what they've experienced from the circumstances they've been in. So I'm not going to blame or judge whoever was the perpetrator, and I'm certainly not going to blame or judge my client.
Yes.
No, I'm going to help you get out of that. I'm going to help you get out of that situation so the real you, the way you were born and created and designed to be, every person on this planet started out that way because this is the way we were made.
It's all that programming that we got into, right?
Absolutely.
The goods, the bads,
the
the
good,
rights,
the bads, you know, the way you should be. That word could get thrown out of our vocabulary. We shouldn't, should. It's not necessary.
Oh, well, you know, Fred picked out the perfect clip because this is exactly what you're talking about in your healing process. Having giraffe ears, hearing the heart. We'll be right back.
This is where it really helps me to be part of a giraffe community of people that I can call on when I get stuck and I'm not in touch with what's going on in me that's keeping me from being able to connect with this other person. And so more than a few times I can recall calling up a friend of mine and say, could we spend some time together today? You know, this kid is driving me nuts, and everything I say is making it worse, and I just really need to get connected to what's going on in me, what's being triggered in me that's so painful, okay? And how wonderful that I have had an abundance of people with giraffe ears who, when I say that, and we get together, they do not give me advice. They do not give me sympathy, you see. They do not tell me, well, you think you have it bad. You should hear what happened to me the other day with my child. But they're really able to hear the pain that's going on in me, even when I'm not too clear about it. Even if I want to say to them, look, I don't want to say it in giraffe. I don't know how. If I could say it in giraffe, what's going on in me, I probably could handle it myself. But I just got a whole bunch of stuff going on in me, and I need to say it, and I need some real help in getting connected. So the other person has giraffe ears. They'll help me. They'll listen for what's alive in me, you see. It just looks to me like this kid is going to do whatever he wants, and he doesn't give a damn about anybody else in the family but himself. Yeah. So it's kind of, you're feeling aggravated and would hope that your needs and other family members' needs would be taken into consideration. Yeah, and you know, I know that I've probably asked for it because I know how I've been treating him in the past, and he's still carrying that with him. But I've been trying hard, and you know, damn it, it's hard to, it just seems like it's never going to shift. Yeah, so you're feeling bad because you would have liked to have treated him differently in the past, and now you're afraid that that's going to get in the way of connecting with him now in a way that you'd like. See, so if I can have somebody around that can help me deal with that, I'm much better able then to go to the sun. So let's start with that. I'll be your friend, your giraffe friend, and just tell me how you're feeling now about what happened this morning with your daughter.
I feel totally inadequate to establish a connection with her right now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that now that I have some awareness around nonviolent communication, I see that a lot of the ways that I've been approaching her have been non-constructive in terms of establishing a connection.
So you're frustrated, if I'm understanding you, because you really have a need to connect with her, and the skills for doing it you're not finding.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Notice he had a lot of inner jackals about his being inadequate and self-judgment, and notice with giraffe ears I translated his message just into his feelings and needs, you see.
Okay. So the crux of the issue for me with her
Mm-hmm.
is that I can see that she's at point in her life
Mhm.
where